It's a larger version of the chimpanzee. It's like 6 feet tall,
Whoa.
huge, 200+ pound chimps. The locals call them lion killers.
Imagine stepping into a jungle so deep and untouched by modern civilization that it feels like a different world entirely. A place where a lost species of supersized apes roam, so massive that local hunters swear they've seen them take down lions. Yeah, you heard that right. These aren't your average chimps. These are the legendary Bili Apes of the Congolese jungle, lion-eating chimps with a mysterious past that has left even top scientists baffled. But how much of this is fact? And how much is just myth? And what do these creatures tell us about the hidden secrets of our planet? Stick around, because this is about to get wild. 10th, giant lion-eating chimps. Deep in the heart of the Democratic Republic of Congo lies a place known to locals as the Magic Forest. The name alone sounds straight out of a legend, but trust me, the creatures inside, they're even more unbelievable. Meet the Bili Apes, a population of supersized chimpanzees that defy everything we thought we knew about primates. And get this, they aren't just big. Some of them stand over 5 feet tall, with skulls larger than normal chimps. Their footprints, even bigger than those of gorillas. So, what makes these apes so terrifying? Well, let's just say they've earned themselves a bone-chilling reputation. According to local hunters, these apes aren't just strong, they're fierce predators. In fact, there are stories, yes, actual claims, that they hunt and kill lions. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, what? Chimps don't hunt big cats. And normally, you'd be right. But these aren't just any chimps. The first real evidence of this came from scientist Cleve Hicks, who spent 18 months studying them. One day, his team followed the eerie calls of chimps echoing through the forest. For days, they heard the same cries coming from one spot. And when they finally got there, they found something that shocked them to their core: a chimp feasting on the carcass of a leopard. Now, did the chimp kill the leopard, or did it just scavenge a meal? Hicks couldn't say for sure. But this discovery confirmed one thing: these apes had a taste for big cat flesh. And here's where things get even stranger. Unlike typical chimps, who avoid humans at all costs, the Bili Apes showed no fear of people. Scientists approaching them found these massive primates just standing there, staring, unbothered. That's right. While other chimps run from humans because they've learned to fear hunters, these giants didn't flinch. And if that doesn't sound unsettling enough, the Bili Apes also have what scientists call a smashing culture. They've been seen breaking open turtles, smashing termite mounds against rocks, and even using stones to crack open the toughest nuts and fruits. So let's recap. We've got supersized chimps that may or may not be hunting lions, who show no fear of humans and have developed their own tool-wielding culture in the depths of an unexplored jungle. This isn't just another group of primates. This could be an entirely new chapter in the story of evolution. Some experts even suggest that we might need to redraw the chimpanzee family tree altogether. But if you think that's the most shocking discovery hiding in Africa, oh, just wait until you hear what's coming next. 9. Peaceful bonobos of Congo. Now, let's shift gears from the aggressive Bili Apes to a completely different type of primate. Meet the bonobo, our closest living relatives, sharing over 98% of their DNA with humans. But unlike their more aggressive chimp cousins, bonobos have a reputation for something unexpected: peace. That's right. Bonobos are often called the hippie chimps of the primate world because of their unique approach to conflict resolution. Instead of violence, they use, well, let's just say, intimacy to keep the peace. Scientists have observed them engaging in non-reproductive interactions to strengthen social bonds and reduce tensions. And if that doesn't sound fascinating enough, bonobo societies are also matriarchal, meaning females run the show. Unlike other primates where males dominate, here it's the ladies who lead. These highly intelligent primates live deep within the rainforests of the Congo basin, making them one of the hardest species to study. Their numbers are dwindling, with estimates ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 left in the wild. And with deforestation and illegal poaching threatening their habitat, their future hangs in the balance. But let's not forget, bonobos aren't just peacekeepers. They also play a critical role in their ecosystem. By consuming fruit and dispersing seeds, they help maintain the lush biodiversity of the rainforest. So, whether it's their uncanny human-like behavior, their matriarchal leadership, or their role in shaping the environment, one thing is clear. The bonobos are unlike any other primates on Earth. Bonobos might be the peacekeepers of the jungle, but they're not the only secret the Congo is hiding. Deep in the rainforest, there's an animal so elusive it was once thought to be a myth. 8. The okapi. If you wandered through the dense rainforests of the Democratic Republic of Congo, you might be lucky enough to spot something truly extraordinary, an animal that looks like it was pieced together from different creatures. A giraffe's long neck, zebra-striped legs, and the sleek, chocolate-brown body of a horse. Sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? But this isn't fiction. This is the okapi, one of the most elusive animals on the planet. For centuries, local tribes knew of its existence, but to the outside world, it was nothing more than a legend. Until 1901, when scientists finally confirmed that this bizarre creature was real. So, what exactly is an okapi? Biologically speaking, it's the closest living relative of the giraffe, though you wouldn't guess it just by looking at them. Okapis stand around 5 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh up to 770 pounds, making them smaller but just as fascinating as their towering cousins. Their most bizarre feature: their 18-inch long tongues, so flexible that they can lick their eyeballs. That's right, but it's not just for show. This powerful tongue helps them strip leaves from trees, their main source of food. Now let's talk about their habitat. Okapis are found only in the Ituri forest, a dense, shadowy jungle that provides them with the perfect cover. Unlike giraffes, who thrive in open savannas, okapis avoid human contact at all costs, making them incredibly difficult to study. In fact, researchers rarely see them in the wild. Most of what we know comes from camera traps and rare encounters deep in the rainforest, but their secrecy hasn't kept them safe. Despite being legally protected, okapis are in danger. Their population has dropped dramatically due to deforestation, illegal hunting, and armed conflicts in the region. The Okapi Wildlife Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of their last refugees. But even here, poachers and habitat destruction threaten their future. 7. The Cape buffalo. These massive, battle-hardened bovines are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, and for good reason. Cape buffalo can weigh up to 2,200 pounds and stand over 5 feet tall at the shoulder. Their signature feature? Their huge curved horns form a solid bone shield called a boss. This makes their skulls nearly indestructible, turning them into walking tanks of the African plains. Now, most herbivores? They'll run when faced with danger. Not the Cape buffalo. If they feel threatened, they don't retreat. They fight back. And unlike other prey animals, these buffalo have no fear of predators, not even lions. There have been countless documented cases of Cape buffalo goring, trampling, or outright killing lions that dared to attack them. Even crocodiles have learned to think twice before ambushing them at watering holes. But the real danger comes when these animals are wounded or cornered. Unlike most prey, which will try to escape, injured Cape buffalo are known to turn around and hunt down their attackers, even days later. This chilling behavior has led to more human deaths than any other large African animal. And that's not just legend. Big game hunters will tell you the Cape buffalo is the animal that looks at you like you owe it money. But these beasts aren't just angry tanks on hooves. They're also incredibly intelligent and social. They travel in herds of hundreds, led by dominant females. These herds offer protection, especially for the young. But older males, called dagger boys, often form small, grumpy bachelor groups. And these loners, they're the most aggressive of all. So, why do Cape buffalo matter? Beyond their fierce reputation, they play a key role in their environment. By grazing on grasses, they help shape the African savanna, preventing overgrowth and allowing other species to thrive. But even these mighty beasts aren't invincible. Poaching and habitat loss have shrunk their numbers. Although they're not yet endangered, their population is under threat. And if one of Africa's most feared animals is at risk, what does that say about the rest of the wildlife struggling to survive? We've just witnessed the unstoppable power of the Cape buffalo, an animal so fearsome that even lions hesitate to attack. But brute strength isn't the only way to survive in the wild. Some creatures rely on something far more effective: sheer audacity. Imagine an animal small enough to fit in your arms, yet bold enough to challenge lions, leopards, even venomous cobras. An animal so fearless that it's earned a reputation as nature's most relentless fighter. Meet the honey badger. Pound for pound, one of the most aggressive creatures on the planet. 6. The honey badger. Deep in the African wilderness, a small black and white creature moves with calculated confidence. It's no bigger than a medium-sized dog, but make no mistake, this is one of the most feared animals in the wild. The honey badger, also known as the ratel, is a compact predator wrapped in a thick coat of armor-like skin. It weighs between 20 to 35 pounds, yet it has the fighting spirit of a lion. What makes it so dangerous? It's not just its razor-sharp claws or its bone-crushing bite. It's its attitude. Honey badgers are not afraid of anything. They've been seen fighting off leopards, clawing at hyenas, and even attacking fully grown lions. And if that's not crazy enough, they're also known for taking on venomous snakes like puff adders and cobras. Here's where it gets even wilder. If a honey badger is bitten, it often shakes off the venom and keeps fighting. That's right. These little warriors are thought to have a high tolerance for snake venom, allowing them to survive bites that would kill most other animals. Now, honey badgers don't look for trouble. They'd rather be left alone, scavenging for food, digging burrows, and, true to their name, raiding beehives for honey. But when they're cornered, they transform. They puff up their bodies, bare their dagger-like teeth, and release a foul-smelling stench from their anal glands, a natural tear gas designed to confuse and repel attackers. And if that doesn't work, they fight to the death. Even humans have had dangerous encounters with honey badgers. Most attacks happen when someone accidentally disturbs a burrow or startles one in the wild. Some of these encounters have been deadly. Honey badgers are known carriers of rabies, making any bite potentially deadly. And while they rarely target humans, their unyielding aggression and razor-sharp bites make them one of the most formidable small predators in the world. So the next time someone tells you size matters in the animal kingdom, just remember the honey badger. a relentless warrior that proves sometimes that attitude is everything. We've seen fearless fighters in the African wild, but now we leave the continent behind and step into a realm untouched by time. A place where prehistoric giants still roam. An island where the largest lizard on Earth reigns as the top predator. This is Komodo Island, home to the legendary Komodo dragon. 5. The Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon is the closest thing we have to a real-life dinosaur. Growing up to 10 feet long and weighing as much as 330 pounds, this monstrous reptile is built for one thing: hunting. With razor-sharp teeth, incredible speed, and a venomous bite, the Komodo dragon is an apex predator in its environment. Here's how it hunts. It lurks in the shadows, using its incredible sense of smell to track prey from miles away. When it strikes, it does so with astonishing speed, clamping its serrated teeth into the flesh of wild boar, deer, or even water buffalo. But it's not the bite that kills, it's the venom. Komodo dragons inject toxins that prevent blood from clotting, sending their prey into shock. The victim stumbles away, slowly bleeding to death, while the dragon calmly follows, waiting for its meal to collapse. But what about humans? Komodo dragons rarely attack people, but when they do, the results are deadly. One of the most infamous attacks happened in 2009 when a 31-year-old man fell from a tree while gathering fruit on Komodo Island. He landed near two dragons, and they immediately pounced. Despite villagers rushing to help, he died from his injuries. Another attack occurred in 2007 when an 8-year-old boy was dragged into the bushes by a Komodo dragon. It was the first human fatality in over 30 years. And here's the scariest part. Komodo dragons are incredibly patient. They've been known to stalk humans for hours, even days, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. For millions of years, the Komodo dragon has ruled its isolated island home, a living relic from the age of dinosaurs. We've seen its lethal hunting techniques, its deadly venom, and its rare but terrifying attacks on humans. But sometimes, the deadliest creatures aren't giant monsters with fangs and claws. Sometimes, they're tiny, small enough to fit on your fingertip, yet capable of causing thousands of deaths every year. This is the tsetse fly, a tiny terror that has shaped the course of African history and remains one of the world's most dangerous insects. 4. The tsetse fly. It looks like just another fly, no bigger than a housefly, with dull brown wings and a thin, elongated body. But don't be fooled. The tsetse fly is a biological syringe, carrying a parasite so deadly that it can slowly shut down the human brain. Found across sub-Saharan Africa, these blood-feeding insects are daytime hunters, drawn to movement, body heat, and even specific colors. Ever wonder why people in tsetse-infested areas avoid wearing blue? Because tsetse flies love it. For some reason, their vision locks onto blue clothing, making it a high-risk color in regions where these insects thrive. But it's not the bite itself that makes them dangerous. It's what they inject. Tsetse flies transmit African trypanosomiasis, better known as sleeping sickness. It starts innocently enough, a fever, some fatigue, maybe even headaches. But as the parasite spreads, it invades the central nervous system, disrupting sleep cycles, causing confusion, and eventually leading to coma and death. There are two types of sleeping sickness. The slow, creeping kind, found mostly in West and Central Africa, can take months or even years before symptoms appear. And the fast, aggressive form, common in East Africa, can kill within weeks. Either way, without urgent medical treatment, sleeping sickness is almost always fatal. Throughout history, entire villages have been wiped out by tsetse fly outbreaks. In the early 20th century, sleeping sickness was so severe that in some regions, half the population vanished. Even today, the disease remains a threat. In 1998, there were over 38,000 recorded cases, but experts believe thousands more went unreported in remote areas. Thanks to massive control efforts, cases dropped to fewer than 600 in 2023. A huge victory. But the danger isn't over yet. The Democratic Republic of Congo remains a hotspot, accounting for the majority of cases. And as long as tsetse flies continue to thrive, so does the risk of another deadly outbreak. And it's not just humans at risk. Tsetse flies also transmit nagana, a disease that kills millions of livestock every year. The economic toll? Over $4 billion in losses annually. That means entire farms collapse, food production drops, and families lose their livelihoods, all because of a fly the size of a pencil eraser. Third, wild boars. With its thick, bristly coat, stocky frame, and curved tusks sharp enough to rip through flesh, the wild boar is one of the most adaptable mammals on the planet. Found across Europe, Asia, and North Africa, these omnivorous powerhouses thrive in forests, grasslands, and even farmlands, where their destructive feeding habits often bring them into conflict with humans. They travel in family groups, known as sounders, led by an experienced matriarch, a system that helps them find food, detect predators, and defend their young. But while wild boars usually avoid confrontation, they are more than willing to fight when provoked. And when they do, the results can be deadly. Most people think of bears, wolves, or sharks when they imagine deadly animal attacks. But here's a shocking fact. Wild boars kill more people than sharks every year. Between 2000 and 2019, at least 172 people were killed by wild pigs, an average of 8.6 deaths annually. And in 2024 alone, 7 more fatalities were reported. Most of these attacks occur in rural areas where farmers, hikers, and villagers unknowingly cross paths with solitary, territorial boars. And when that happens, the consequences are brutal. A charging wild boar can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, faster than the average human can run. Their tusks, designed for digging and defense, can tear deep into muscle and sever arteries in seconds. Many victims die not from the initial attack, but from hemorrhagic shock, bleeding out before help can arrive. And when a wild boar decides to fight, it doesn't hold back. Despite their threat to humans, wild boars are incredibly intelligent and resourceful. They've been observed strategizing, setting traps for prey, and even outsmarting hunters. And their population is booming. With no natural predators in many areas and their ability to reproduce rapidly, wild boars are becoming one of the fastest-growing invasive species in the world. Second, cone snails. It looks like just another seashell. Small, colorful, and intricately patterned, the cone snail seems like a harmless treasure for beachgoers and divers alike. But beneath its beautiful shell lies a weapon so deadly that it has earned the nickname the cigarette snail. Because after a sting, you only have enough time to smoke a cigarette before you die. There are over 600 species of cone snails, thriving in tropical waters across the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans. They lurk in shallow reefs, sandy shores, and rocky seabeds, perfectly camouflaged among shells and corals. Their shells, often highly sought after by collectors, come in dazzling shades of orange, white, blue, and brown. A deceptive beauty that hides one of the most lethal venoms on the planet. Unlike sharks or jellyfish, cone snails don't rely on speed or brute force to kill. They are ambush predators, waiting undetected until the perfect moment to strike. And when they do, it's over in the blink of an eye. Cone snails don't bite. They don't even sting in the traditional sense. Instead, they fire a harpoon-like tooth, called a radula, into their prey, injecting a powerful venom that paralyzes instantly. This attack is one of the fastest movements in the animal kingdom, happening in mere milliseconds. Their venom, a cocktail of neurotoxins called conotoxins, is designed to shut down nerves, causing paralysis and respiratory failure. For small fish, this means instant death. For humans, it can mean excruciating pain, numbness, and eventual suffocation if medical help doesn't arrive in time. One species, the geographic cone snail, or Conus geographus, is particularly deadly. It is responsible for most of the recorded human fatalities, with enough venom in a single sting to kill 700 people. In 2016, an experienced diver off the coast of Australia made a fatal mistake, picking up what he thought was an ordinary shell. Within minutes, his muscles seized up, and he collapsed onto the sand, unable to breathe. By the time rescuers arrived, he was already gone. 1. Africanized honeybees. They look like ordinary honeybees. Same size, same golden bodies, but these aren't ordinary bees. These are Africanized honeybees, better known as killer bees. And they've earned that name. The story of Africanized honeybees begins in the 1950s, when scientists in Brazil introduced African honeybees, or Apis mellifera scutellata, to South America. The goal? To boost honey production. But things went terribly wrong. A handful of these bees escaped captivity, and nature took care of the rest. They bred with European honeybees, creating a new hybrid that was stronger, faster, and far more aggressive. By the 1990s, they had spread like wildfire across South and Central America, reaching the southern United States, and soon the attacks began. Unlike European honeybees, which only attack when absolutely necessary, Africanized honeybees respond with unrelenting aggression. Disturb their hive? They won't just sting, they will chase you. For over 500 feet, they will attack in massive numbers, delivering 10 times as many stings as their European cousins. It's not the venom that makes them deadly. It's the sheer number of stings, thousands, all at once. Even people who aren't allergic to bees can die from the overwhelming venom overload. June 1st, 2013, Moody, Texas. 62-year-old Larry Goodwin was mowing a field near a pile of wood. What he didn't know, inside that pile was a hidden hive of Africanized bees. The vibrations from the mower triggered the hive, sending thousands of bees into a frenzy. Goodwin ran. He tried to reach a water hydrant to wash them off, but before he could, he collapsed. More than 3,000 stings covered his body. By the time help arrived, it was too late. Africanized bees are now a permanent part of ecosystems across the Americas. If you found this episode chilling, fascinating, or downright unbelievable, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. And we want to hear from you. Would you rather take your chances alone in the jungle with the giant chimps, or face a relentless swarm of Africanized killer bees? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. because next time we uncover even more of nature's greatest and most terrifying mysteries.